Good evening, YouTube. HeirofCarthage here. What the crap's going on? Back on Thrones of Britannia with some online battle. I still have not gotten to play any online battles here. I have been very strapped for time this week. Work has been insane. Like, insane. Short days for me have been like 10.5 or 11 hours, and the longer ones were closer to like 12. So, it's been rough to try and get stuff done, but Mr. Sol Invictus, none other, one of the legendary Rome 2 multiplayer characters, sent me this, wanted me to check it out. So we got the Normans and Gwyn, or however, I know I'm not pronouncing these right. Got it. So, not even going to try any further. Let's check out his build, right? So he's got a bunch of Flemish crossbowmen. He's got these Norman knights. That'll be cool to see what these heavy cavalry look like. Some Norman swordsmen. Norman shield wall, which are spear units, and then some Norman levy spears, and his general is this Norman Miles, or whatever it is here. So for the other army, we got these royal spears, royal taili, or however you pronounce this. Someone tried to tell me, but I don't remember. And then he's got basically all these Welsh mailed swordsmen. That's the key piece of his army. Remember, the longbows for this Welsh faction are one of their main powers as well, and then some javelin men. Crossbows, obviously armor-piercing missiles, specializing at taking down high armor targets, whereas the longbowmen are probably more well-suited to go against a lesser armored target from long range. So like the crossbows, potentially. Let's go check out some of this heavy cavalry. I haven't really gotten to see any good, like, knightly heavy cavalry. Why does it sound so loud? Hold on. I swear this game, like, every time I turn the sound down, like, it just comes right back. Oh, these are voice chats. Well, no wonder it's still loud, because I've just been messing with the voice chat settings. Alright. There you go. What do you know? It was me, not the game. So, where is that heavy cavalry? You know, just after all the cataphracts and stuff, I mean, these guys finally have some armor. They look pretty decent, but, like, there's, like, nothing on the horses. I mean, is there any heavy cavalry in this game where it kind of, the horse end up looking cool, too? So I noticed that, like, the heavy cavalry in this game, it feels a little bit disappointing compared to, like, seeing all the cataphracts in Rome 2, and then there was cataphracts in Attila, and then it's like you get, or was armor just a rarity at this point? I don't know. I don't know the answer behind that. Check out these Norman shield walls. They do look like a shield wall. It's a cool looking unit. Cool battle chants going on here too. Nice. Nice touch. So the longbows are already firing.
We have discovered the enemy's hidden unit.
Crossbows are only 125 range versus 170 for the longbows. These Welsh javelin men doesn't give a, does it? Missile damage? Yeah, 37, so pretty high. Ooh, crossbows are gonna open fire. These mailed swordsmen right now are just kind of standing and taking it. Yeah, it's already taken a toll. They've already lost 9 men to that. And it's taken a toll in their health. It doesn't count it up the same way it does in Warhammer, remember, on these old games, because they don't just have an overall health bar, but it's doing basically the same thing. Those crossbows are chipping away at the health, even though they're not taking off unit models as fast as they're just hitting the overall health. So this unit is dropping health very rapidly. You can see over here that the Welsh player just really wants to sit back and use his crossbows, which makes sense, but if you're going to do a standoff fight here, the crossbows are just going to be dealing way more damage. Like, the DPS on the crossbows is going to be higher, if that's the way you want to look at it here. So I'm not sure what the Welsh player hopes to gain by letting these crossbows just absolutely unload on his expensive infantry, which is the key to his build. You would think he wants to just attack. This is cool. I like the chanting and stuff. It's pretty cool. See, we got a little bit of a skirmish going on this flank. The Norman levy spears and the Norman knights squaring off against all the longbows. I'm surprised the longbows aren't maybe trying to chip away at the mailed knights. They're instead firing at the levy spears. And I think the Welsh player here is gonna realize that standing off from the crossbows is not in his interest. But I like this play here too, using a couple of levy spears to try and slow down a mainline advance so that the crossbows can continue to do their work. So nice play. You can see the shield wall. This one's going to charge forward. But the others are going to brace for the attack, maybe? I think it looks like they're just going to brace and take the attack. Yeah, they've gone into a defensive formation. Check that out, man. That's pretty cool. So the Norman player forcing the Welsh to charge here. And obviously these shield wall probably aren't going to stand up to the swordsmen, but the crossbows continue to try and do their work. Right now they're targeting a spear unit. It's a royal spear, so it is a high value target. And then look here, the Norman knights, bam! Putting a rear charge on these royal spears. The royal spears will probably be able to withstand a little bit of that because they're a tanky unit, but over here, these Norman knights are going to be able to get a hold of the longbowmen. And then they're going to turn this way and try and run a rear charge. The enemy general is here as well. So the Norman knights now crashing into the back of this, but the infantry really has the advantage here for the Welsh players. So the rear charge will be good, but if they stick around too long, these royal spearmen are liable to completely butcher them. And over here, the rear charge was pretty successful. Did a lot of damage to the royal spears. Main line's holding. The crossbows are trying to continue to fire at targets. Here they've got a bit of an angle into the flanks. This one was mismicroed just a bit. Norman knights are running down the javelins over here. Good that he stays just a little bit on the edge of the range there, because those javelins will be pretty effective against the armored cavalry if they can get clean shots. And here, this is what I feared. Between the cavalry and not being microed out of that fight, the royal spearmen and the longbows destroyed that Norman knight unit. But, I mean, definitely get the idea it was going for there. These Norman swords, though, holding out nicely against the royal spears for now. And there's still one Norman knight in pretty good shape. These crossbows are now trying to get flank shots. Ooh, enemy general eats it in this fight here. He was under fire from the crossbows. So the general is gone for the Welsh player. Yeah, it looks like the crossbows are going to be the target of these Norman knights. A little bit of a strange charge here. This pathfinding errors are something that was present in Attila, and it's still present. This blob has now broken free. Let's see if the crossbows... Yeah, they have some protection here from these Norman shield walls. So the Flemish crossbows should have a nice blob to target here. Yeah, skirmishers getting mopped up by that heavy cavalry. These swordsmen and spearmen have done well here. And then these guys are actually holding up okay in this fight here too, so there's starting to be quite a bit of infantry left for the Norman player. And although there is a decent number of elite infantry left for the Welsh, they now have to contend with all these crossbows, and there's really no range support. The Welsh player didn't bring any cavalry, except for his general. And so, when he couldn't protect his longbows, now these crossbowmen are just gonna go ham all over him here. You can see the damage that's being inflicted by these flank shots. Very nice positioning back here on this unit. You see the very nice line of fire they've got kind of over their troops and straight into this infantry blob. But they're not firing right now. There they go. Guess they were just going through a reload time. Yeah, those crossbows have dealt some damage. There's 5 of them, and they all have quite a bit of ammo left, so I would say the writing's pretty much on the wall for the Welsh army at this point. Royal Spearman wants to get a piece of that cavalry, but the Norman Knights know better. They're not going to do it. And now with all this infantry transferring over here, eventually these Royal Spears will give up. But, you know, Spears are a very tough, defensive, shielded, tanky kind of unit, and this one's armored too. So they're going to last a while in this fight, regardless of being outflanked and outnumbered. Woo! That crossbow fire. It is taking a serious toll. The Knights are just kind of holding back like they should be. No reason to get in any hurry at this point. Get yourself killed. So I like that the Knights are just kind of being held as reserve. Used as needed. Oh, and look at this. The Royal Spears want to go after the Knights, and it just opens them up to be shot in the back. Another Welsh mailed swordsman bites the dust. Yeah, and now the cavalry are going to just be kept back for a mop-up operation. These Royal Spears are wavering. The javelins out there out of ammo, so there's no way for the Welsh to pull this one back. And the crossbow heavy build for the Normans is going to succeed. So nice build by Sol Invictus. Fun battle. So you can see the damage the crossbows did there actually turned it to where the infantry fight was in his favor, whereas had he just gone head to head, I have to imagine that his fight would have been pretty difficult to win. I don't know this game perfectly, so it's hard to say. But these Welsh meld swordsmen, I'm assuming, would have put up a pretty strong fight, because you can see this one got a ton of kills right here. So you have to imagine that they would do pretty well against this big spear line, but the crossbowmen just, man, they racked up some damage. So can't overcome that. Longbows, definitely nice range. Some of them even got a few kills, but their target really needed to be the Flemish crossbowmen. That's what they need to be used for. The difficulty there was protecting them. So, I mean, if the Welsh player was going to sit back like he did at first and try and stand off, the longbowman should have been targeting the crossbows. And then since his infantry wasn't engaged, the infantry should have been able to protect from the Norman knights. And he should have tried to use his long-range bows to see what he could do to the crossbowmen. There were 5 of them, though, so it was going to be tough. So, I don't know. What'd you all think of this one? I thought it was a great game. Thanks for sending it to me, Sol. Hope you're doing well. Feel free, man. If you get good replays, feel free to send them. I'm sure the viewers will enjoy it. Do hope you all enjoyed this one. HeirofCarthage, signing out for now. I'll be back soon. We'll have some more Thrones of Britannia action. Probably keep the campaign going next. See you there.